Alright, we're recording. Hey, remember that pizza girl I was talking about maybe about 2 weeks ago or something? The one that was either Canadian or American that was giving me a little bit of interest. I've got an update about that. I went to get a pasta. I'm just in the car from getting the pasta. I walked in, she was on. She's actually the person that took my order. And of course I walked in there. I just straight away locked eyes with her, gave her a bit of a smile, and she asked what I want, and I told her what she wanted. And then, you wouldn't believe it, directly after that, I got absolutely no choosing signals off her whatsoever. So I must have been mistaken that time. Just blank-faced, as clinical as you could be, no interest whatsoever on her part to mine. So, sorry I couldn't give you a happy ending to that story, but I think we all knew that it really wasn't going to go anywhere. So she must have just been in a good mood that night. Maybe the boss was around and she had to look enthusiastic, but yeah. I was going to actually ask her out, or just make a bit more talk with her in there, but no. If you're not getting choosing signals, that's a waste. It's a complete waste of your time. I've been there, done that, and learnt from that, so that's me finished up with the American pizza girl story. That's that. I walked in there, she was just, oh yeah, what do you want? Yeah, that'll be $18, so whatever, rah, 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 rah. Just as normal, as clinical as you could be. I wasn't getting any disgust or anything, but I certainly wasn't getting any choosing signals, so if you're not getting any choosing signals, you are fucked. And it's not, and you can't turn that around. I know all these PUA dating roaches say you can turn it around by, using lines and pretending you're not interested. That's always one that I found funny as fuck. Oh, you got to go up to a girl and pretend you're not interested. What's that going to do? She couldn't give a fuck if you pretend you're not interested. She's not interested. That doesn't make any sense. Looking back on the stuff I used to do, it just doesn't make any bloody sense now. So, yeah, I'm not so much disappointed because I don't really get excited anymore because I know what it's like. And when am I actually going to accept that it's fucking over? Because I can really only ever attract one type of woman these days, and that is morbidly obese women that are at least 10 years older than me, that I am not in the slightest sexually attracted to. I'm sorry, I'm not. I don't really care about, face too much. As long as people are in shape, most people have got reasonable faces. But, if you're morbidly obese, it ain't happening. Sorry. And then a case could be made of, I'm not a true cell then, because true cells don't even get the bottom of the barrel. Well, maybe, but I wouldn't expect my worst enemy to settle for a morbidly obese, like at least 80 kilos overweight woman 10 years older than them, because that's just pathetic. All I kind of ask for, all I really want, I better hold the phone too high, I'll get done if that's the cops behind me. All I want, and is it too much to ask, just for dating equilibrium, give or take 1 or 2 points here and there. Like a 4 dates a 4, a 5 dates a 5. We aren't going to get that kind of shit again unless we can go back in time to where women actually needed men. They don't need us anymore. It's not that dangerous of a place where you need a man to survive. You need that man to be the breadwinner. And, they kind of were the best of times, really. In some ways, like you can say, yeah, today's the best of times because we've got things like, computers, air conditioning, internet, shit like that, and medical advances. But at the end of the day, it's still, here we go, I'll finish it off here. This one will be a bit of a shorter one. So, At the end of the day, yeah, you've got all this good stuff, but is life actually that much better? As I said, I reckon it was, it's hard to say when the best time was. I'd say not during the world wars and stuff, but maybe just after, maybe say 1950, if you were, say, born 1935, you're coming of age in the 50s, that might have been kind of the best time this century anyway. You still had decent medicine and things like that, medications, like you had TV, even though it wasn't that good. You had rock music and rock and roll music, you had guitars, stuff like that. Plenty of stuff to do, drive-in movies, all that shit. And like, yes, there's always been true cells, and there was true cells back then, but there was less of them. At least average-looking guys had a fucking chance. At least we had skin in the game. Because I'm looking at some of these content creators, like take that Raymond Thought and Mind guy. They're like, he's not an ugly bloke. He's not a hot bloke, which is his downfall, which neither am I. Like, if you have a real good look at me, I've got a little bit of flab and all that. That's only because I've been depressed the last 3 or 4 years and I've let myself go. I don't give a fuck. And yeah, that's only because I've kind of given up a little bit. But I've even got pictures. I'll try and pull a couple up where I've actually got like a reasonable jawline. I'm not Chad, but I'm not ugly either, but just being average isn't enough, especially for today's picky modern women. How picky the ladies are these days, it is, they will not settle for second best. And anything but Chad is second best. And I don't see it going back to where women actually need men for anything unless something catastrophic happens. Which, who knows what's going to happen, with all the big bombs, that we've all got now in the wars, and Trump doing what he's doing over there and that. Who fucking knows? But yeah, basically, what was I saying? There's always been the true cells that have really struggled. But even I've seen, in my parents' generation, I've seen some short, ugly blokes with women. Sure, they might be overweight and all that stuff, but not that attractive. But at least they had options. Today's true cells really don't have options. And I won't even say since social media, since just the media, since TV fucked a lot of women, like even my generation of women that came to age in the 90s. We had that much MTV music video saying everyone's got to be thin, you got to be Chad, you got to be Stacey's. Even before the internet, average guys were kind of fucked in the 90s too. As I said, if you were born in the 30s or 40s, you might have had a reasonable chance. But if you're just an average run-of-the-mill bloke these days, you're fucked. You're fucked, mate. That pizza girl just proves it, She's probably a mid 4 out of 10. I'm probably a 4 out of 10. If you take away all the negatives and add all the positives that I've got, if you start every man as a 5 and then say, take away, okay, I'm bald, I've got a bit of extra weight, but also I'm pretty tall, I've got, a couple of other good features going. I've got a nice muscular build, things like that. I've had women say they like my eyes and all that before. I've had compliments on features. Even my nose, for some reason, I don't understand what that is, but yeah. If you add and then subtract, I'm probably about a 4. But being a 4 is a death sentence these days. You may as well be born the fucking Elephant Man. Quasimodo, mate. You may as well be born Quasimodo. Because you have to be hot. Not ugly or mid doesn't get you anything these days. Because we all know them 3 and 4s out of 10s are getting smashed by 5s and 6s. So, yeah. Even if you're just a dead set 5, say if I still had my hair, you might say, okay, this bloke's a 5. Even then, I'm still not going to do any good. I'm still going to be stuck with the same pool of women. Instead of the morbidly obese women 10 years older, I might get the morbidly obese 5 years older with hair. It's still not good enough. You have to elevate yourself to about a 6. And a lot of guys can't do that. It really is decided the day you're born. It's even before that. As you're being conceived and developed in the womb, it's then your DNA from your mum and dad is deciding whether it's over or not. And there's nothing you can fucking do about it. At least there's channels like this now that are out there that can actually tell guys, hey, it's not your fault. There's literally nothing that you can fucking do about it. Don't listen to all this dating roach PUA shit. Don't buy all these stupid courses. Don't make them fucking millionaires. Don't give them 50 million bucks in the bank. Can't believe some of them guys are worth that much money. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Especially that stupid dating roach, that Wes Watson. He's a fucking clown, that prick. Thinks he's the toughest guy, fucking the best thing since sliced bread. What a wanker. What a fucking dropkick, mate. I don't know what it's like there in the States. With an attitude like that, he wouldn't last long here in Australia. We've got a very low tolerance here for fucking wannabe tough guys. There'll be someone everywhere he goes that'll take him up on his challenge to fight him anytime, anywhere. Don't worry about that. And then what else is going to fuck our cause up? The whole internet crackdown thing. I don't know where exactly that's going to end, but I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be good for the manosphere. I'd say they're going to start coming after again channels like mine. I think we're going to get targeted again. Like my last one was yeeted. I think this one is going to be yeeted in the near future, because it's, dangerous, apparently dangerous to children, to hear any of this kind of stuff. Not that what I say is dangerous, I'm just trying to kind of educate guys and give you, life stories from a guy that's older, been there and done that. But definitely stay away from like the red pill dickheads, the Tates. I've always just denounced that Tate as some kind of red pill guru. He's a fucking cocksucker. He's a dickhead, just the same as it's the same as all them. The Hamza, here's another dickhead. Everyone just makes them rich. They sell absolute garbage. It's the people out there that make them rich. They aren't self-made billionaires or whatever they claim. It's the suckers that make them rich. They just take. There's people like that just take in this life. People like that are born with, I guess, clinical narcissistic personality disorder. They take. That's all these roaches are. You just have to look how they explain themselves, how arrogant they are when they talk about themselves. They definitely have some kind of psychological disorder, some kind of either psychopathy, sociopath, or a narcissistic personality disorder. They've got to have something wrong with them. To be able to knowingly rip men off and sleep at night and not care about it, you have to have a screw loose. You have to have something wrong with you to be able to do that as a human. So soon, I know for YouTube, you're going to have to sign in and use I'm guessing they're going to want a copy of your driver's license. You already have to sign into Google to have a YouTube. You need a Google account to have a YouTube. But I believe they're going in Australia. I think they've already done it in the UK. I don't know to what extent, but in Australia, you are going to have to sign in with some kind of ID verification, maybe Medicare card, birth certificate, or straight driver's license with a number. So I don't know how that's going to affect me, because I've already had one channel yeeted. If I sign in, I'll do it because I have to. Everyone's got to do it. If I have to sign in with a driver's license, I'll do it. Though I am worried about, hacking and things like that. What if all that really precious information gets hacked? They don't give a fuck. They just want more control. And they want to know where you are, what you signed into, your details, where you've been. And they'll use it against you at any opportunity they fucking can. Whether it's a crime that you've committed and the police need your ID tracking data that's there, or whether it's for sales and marketing purposes, all the info's there. But that's just the first step. That's because if you're under 16, you can't Like as of December this year, if you're under 16, you can't get on YouTube, and soon it'll be the internet. And I think why they're doing that is they're kind of realising that a lot of men are just fucking checking out of society. They're just saying the juice ain't worth the squeeze with work and with dating. And that's kind of been the only reason, I think, in past days that guys have worked 12 hours down a coal mine dying at 44 with lung cancer is because they've got a wife and kids to support. And if a guy can't do that, why should a guy work full-time? I mean, I don't do it now. I'll never go back to full-time. I don't see the point, unless if for some miraculous reason I had wife and kids, yeah, I could step it up and probably quite easily, with hard work, wouldn't be easily, I'd be working 6 or 7 days a week. I could probably make 100k fairly easy without going back to school, just by starting up a couple of businesses in things I'm already qualified in. But I think they're noticing that men are just checking out. There's not many, guys that are going into trades and doing all the hard, shitty jobs and stuff. And a lot of people are becoming neats. A lot of guys are getting wise to this stuff, are just how picky and how high standard and hypergamous women are. And they're realising the juice ain't worth the squeeze, so they're kind of checking out of society. That's just, one of many theories going around the manosphere, and it's one I agree with. Anyway, I've got my pasta in here to eat. My penne carbonara. I love a penne carbonara. I like penne. I don't like the fettuccine whatever the fuck it is. Carbonara too much. But the penne is good. Just normal pasta is good, or penne. But yeah, the pizza girl, just gave me absolutely no choosing signals, which is not overly cold, but just clinical. I'm just another customer, and I pretty much wore the exact same thing: the same hat, same shirt, same pants in. So I don't normally dress like a slob on Sundays, which is Sunday here as time of recording. I just went in there, nothing offer. I don't know why I got excited, thinking maybe I could take her on a date and ask her. I mean, I'm generally interested in American culture. I want to ask her what it's like, where she's from, get to know her, and have some maybe deep and intellectual conversation. But who am I kidding? Women don't want that, unless you're Chad. Even if you're Chad, you can be as dumb as a fucking brick, as long as you're good looking. And once again, I'm not putting every woman into one basket. I know there's good ones out there, but they're few and far between. And like that guy Pete says, enough women are like it. It's not all women are like that, but enough are like it to make us come to these conclusions. So it's over. Probably never really began with the pizza girl. But it was a fun thought, thinking I could meet someone from a different country and get to know them. Of course, have some bedroom fun and develop a good relationship. But it's not to be. Unfortunately, I'm not hot. I'm not ugly, but I'm not hot. And you're probably in the same boat as me. You're not ugly, but you're not hot. You're not bare minimum a 6 out of 10, and even a 6. They're settling for a 6. And I reckon 6s, as far as guys and girls go, 6s are good looking. They're good looking. But they want that 7 or 8. They want the Chad. And there's nothing we can do about it except accept it. And like I always say, don't hate on the Chads. It's not their fault. They're just capitalising on what they've got. And you and me would do exactly the fucking same. And don't try to tell me you wouldn't. I'm not saying you, especially me, wouldn't go out and fuck everything that moves. Maybe in my teens and 20s I would, but I'd definitely be settled down with the beautiful Stacey if I was a Chad. There'd definitely be one problem I wouldn't have to worry about, which is pretty much the major problem that every guy has in life, which is to find a mate and reproduce. That's kind of the reason we're all here, isn't it? To survive and replicate. But all we can do is survive. If we can't replicate, if Mother Nature, aka women, well, that's like a sub part, like a subset of Mother Nature is females. Males are too, but if the female of the species has decided your genetics isn't good enough to pass on and reproduce with, it's over. And fair enough, if you've only been rejected from one or two women, or if you haven't looks matched yet, go ahead and do that and keep going. But if you've been around as long as I have, if you've approached at least 100 women in your life, and you've gotten anywhere, it's pretty much over, because women. What's the word for it? Women are I don't know the exact word, but women have got a hive mind when it comes to this thing. So, like, if say 100 women reject you, they fucking may as well all reject it. If it's only one or two, then keep trying and that. But they kind of, colloquially think the same. They've kind of, it's women's standards are worldwide. Anyway, I'm going to go and eat my pasta. And until next time.